The Prophet ﷺ says the following in his farewell sermon: لا فضل لعربي على عجمي ولا لعجمي على عربي ولا لأبيض على أسود ولا لأسود على أبيض كلكم من آدم وآدم من تراب. عليه الصلاة والسلام. We begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we ask Him to send His peace and blessings upon the last and final messenger. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam left this ummah with the following advice. He says, an Arab is not better than a non-Arab, and a non-Arab is not better than an Arab. A white person is not better than a black person, and a black person is not better than a white person. We are all from Adam alayhi salam, and Adam is from dirt. Adam alayhi salam is our father, he is our origin. And in the story of Adam alayhi salam, you find so many lessons that helps humanity learn to be a human being, what it means to be a human being. And the more a person is in tune with the true narrative of the human story, then you'll find that it feeds us the elements that prevent and significantly reduce the problems of humanity, like racism, like tribalism, like selfishness, like arrogance, among others. The Prophet ﷺ says, your father is Adam ﷺ, and every single human being goes to the same exact origin. And the Quran gives us so much information about our father Adam ﷺ. And in light of the Western experience that we Muslims are encountering day in, day out, focusing on the story of Adam ﷺ will help us not only become better humans, it will also help us build better relationships. And even with the Quran, it helps us build a better relationship, because we need to accept something, dear brothers and sisters. The Quran is more than just a book that tells us what to do and what not to do. And it's more than a book that tells us about what's going on in the metaphysical universe. It is a book about the human being, guidance for the human being. And if we don't know what it means to be a human being, then the Quran will be speaking to almost deaf ears. We will be disconnected from what the guidance of the Quran is really presenting us. And in the world that we live in today, the world of individualism, we need to appreciate and educate ourselves about what individualism means in the Western context and how the individual is viewed in the Western context. So in the individual, as defined in the dictionaries, the individual is a personality or a character in light of how it relates to the same of its kind. In other words, it's telling us, it's teaching us that the human being, your ability to know yourself is directly related to others of your same type of human beings. But the Quran gives us a very different perspective. The Quran says your ability to know yourself as an individual is related to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and your relationship to Allah. It is not about how others view you, but rather how Allah views you. And it's not about how you view others, but rather how you view Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So your ability, as per the Islamic paradigm, to be an individual, to reach your fullest potential as an individual, has nothing to do with the people around you, but has everything to do with your Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. Individualism, it is defined as your ability to be independent and self-reliant. But the story of Adam alayhi salam gives us a completely different perspective, a completely different narrative, a completely different definition. Your ability to be an individual has everything to do with how much you are ready to rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how much you are ready to depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we all know the term tawakkul ala Allah, depending on Allah. How many times does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell the Prophet, tell us in the Quran, put your trust in Allah, because you weren't created to be self-reliant. You weren't created to be independent. You weren't created to go on this journey of your life by yourself. So what we see is that the Western world is providing us with a definition of individuality, of what it means to be a human being, that is very different than the Quranic paradigm. And if you want to toss into this conversation this this claim that humanity goes back to monkeys, goes back to chimpanzees, goes back to a process of evolution, that humanity has no creator, that we are the result of a series of causes and effects. We are the result of randomness. Now imagine that in comparison to you are the result of being created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being created in a way that gives us and explains to us our characteristics, our features, the fact that we were created from dirt, and what that means for the human being. So inshallah, in this month of Ramadan, we are going to learn about our father, Adam alayhi salam, our origin, Adam alayhi salam, how he was created, why he was created, and what that means for us today. So what does Adam mean? Adam has two possible meanings in the Arabic language. One from udum, and udum means to stuff something or to put something in something else. The Prophet ﷺ says, نِعْمَ الْإِدَامَ الْخَلْ. The Prophet ﷺ says, vinegar, when it's mixed with bread, is something that is good. So you find that the Prophet ﷺ is using the word Adam, or a morphation of the word, to refer to the process of dipping bread into vinegar. And then the bread absorbs the vinegar and is filled with the vinegar. And if you put stuffing in bread, that's idama. You are putting something inside the bread. So Adam, the name Adam means something that is filled. And we human beings, we are filled with organs, veins, and whatever's inside the human being. Also, we consume things, and then our bodies are filled with what we consume. So that's one of the possible meanings. The other possible meaning is Adam refers to a color. And here it has a opposite meaning. Adam can be used to refer to something that is fair skin, lighter in color. But it can also be used to refer to that which is darker in complexion. And so, in all probability, it seems like Adam alayhi salam, his skin color was between white and black, whatever is in the middle of this. But notice something. Never do we find that the Quran or the Prophet ﷺ actually clarifies to us the exact skin tone of Adam ﷺ. Because you know what? We are all from Adam ﷺ. And so he had the genes, so to speak, of that which is dark and complex. And so those who are from African or from black descendants go back to Adam ﷺ, as do those who are white in their complexion. They go back to Adam alayhi salam, and everything in between. This is our father alayhi salam. So inshallah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us a blessed month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow these lessons to be something that empowers us, something that helps us navigate this world in a more better, efficient, effective way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow the lessons from our father Adam alayhi salam to help us build more resilience, not only in our personalities, but also in our mental health. Because the story of Adam alayhi salam can bring us elements of viewing ourselves in a way that begins to reshape our worldview and mitigate some of, if not a lot of, the mental health challenges that we are finding today. So you don't want to miss this series, inshallah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the barakah. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakumullah khair for watching. Please share this khair and let other people benefit from the lessons, and support this masjid by becoming one of its sustainers.